none other unauthorized and fuel treasure hunt in the sharky water surrounding Gatsby Islands with Queen Raae. I'm your host, Captain Ola, and this is Pirate Princess Lilium. She watched herself on the YouTube.
She's enjoying herself. Hello, everyone. So, what are we up to today? Do you have our little tasker beller? So, what are we making? We are gonna be making a fuzzy search for Prune follower using Xata or Xata. And why are we going to do that? Because you might want to be searching for specific, words or whatever when you're trying to find people to unfollow. Like I might do a little bit of a, crypto search maybe and see if there are some people to unfollow. So that's why we want to do a search. And why do we want to do a fuzzy search? Is because I'm dyslexic. I can't spell. I need a fuzzy search. A fuzzy search is when you are allowed. Oh, I should make myself big as well. I'm just tiny. There I am. A fuzzy search is where you are allowed to do some spelling mistakes and the search engine will still try to match it as good as it can. So that's the plan for today. Are you excited, Ola? Oh, look at that. You are now on the other side.
Inessa is saying howdy, howdy.
Hey, Inessa! I asked Inessa to be our tailwinder in the chat because we will be making a search field, and I know I want to make it look good. So I need some help coming up with some good class names. And thank you. I'm really happy with them. You might not see it on stream, but there's actually like pink glitter or like purple glitter on the side here on the rim. So I tried to buy some boring, more kind of like sophisticated glasses, but everyone I talked to were like, no, you need those glasses. You are not allowed to get the boring glasses.
But you must get closer like this. You must get closer like this.
Maybe if I do like, look at that. Can you see that? Can you see the glitter?
Yes.
I've been telling Lillian for ages that I am, I'm jealous of all the cool glitter things that the kids get to have. So when I got the chance, got to jump on that opportunity, get some glitter for myself. Thank you, Tejas. What did you say? You're laughing. Oh, she's going to prune some follows. She's going to be like, chop, chop, walk the plank, not following you anymore. So that's what we're going to try to do today. So housekeeping. Xata is sponsoring us, working on Prune Your follows. Xata is still in closed beta, so we might experience some difficulties that, might be fixed before they launch in public beta. But
we love difficulties.
I just must say I love being an early adopter. It's like, it seems like it's what I've been doing my whole life. I just love testing new things and giving feedback and then see that feedback be incorporated. I'm just like, oh, I feel so, I don't know, useful when I do that. So we'll do our best and see how it works and see if we can find some feedback to give back to the team that they could incorporate at some point. So let's get started. So I've already... Oh, we're going to do some input search. So that's why that is here. But as you can see, I've already this is what we've seen before. If you've seen the show before with Prune Your follows, we have some ready-made categories here of overpopular, overactive, inactive, and unpopular, which kind of just sorts all of your followers with certain criteria. So if we go here and look at our get following, I'm going to try to just do everything in a file and then we'll refactor later. So what you can see here is inactive. It then filters obviously by my ID. So I only get the people that I follow. And then I sorted by some metrics that I've calculated, which is average tweets per year. And then also years on Twitter. And the same thing here with overactive, just flipped, and unpopular and overpopular. What I realized though, is that we should probably have a follower to following number that we calculate that people could use to sort or filter people as well, because some of these very popular accounts are not following anyone, and depending on like what you're looking for on Twitter, like maybe you want to follow them, but maybe also you want to sort out the people who kind of don't follow other people and kind of don't join or is not kind of joining actively in the community. So that will be for future streams. Today we're going to try and do a fuzzy search where we can search on the description, the name, and then maybe also location. So we'll need to show location as well in these cards then, if if people are going to search on it. So that's gonna, like, let's start. So I've been working on kind of making the transition over to these categories over to Xata today. So I haven't done any like real prep on the search, except I've been playing around with Xata's playground, which is kind of cool. So when
Wait a minute. I need to read this from... This is the grooviest one I got ever from John. I'll read it. Skull leps ut vu vongton of igra.
Okay, is that an inside joke? Do you understand what's going on with that comment?
Did you ask me now? No?
Or did the cat kind of walk across the keyboard?
No, because he has that skull there.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
But that ton.
So
he's got
here
some words in there.
Yeah. So here in Xata, like, this is my accounts table. And what I found really cool is that you can actually say that a column is actually an object. So I have this meta column that then can have data inside. So when I'm kind of viewing my columns, it's very easy to be like, oh, I want to see all of the meta, or I don't want to see all of the meta. Kind of like, it was a neat little trick. So everything here I'm getting publicly from Twitter. So anything you're seeing kind of on the screen, it's all publicly available through the Twitter API. So I'm not sharing any secrets. So these are the public metrics that I'm getting from Twitter. And then these are the calculated metrics that I probably will expand. As I said, add some more calculated metrics here to make it easier to sort and filter and all of those kinds of stuff. So what I've done to begin with now with the searching is that I went over here to the search tab, and you can like start creating your little target. So I want to search everything. Let's do Oslo.
Ooh.
Or sorry, not there, but I can search everything. And then I can like do Oslo over here, and I can see the accounts that matches Oslo. And what we want is that you can also do like also, because that's...
No, you couldn't.
I couldn't, but that's where we want the fuzziness, right? So we can do a setting where we set that the fuzziness, I think for this to work, we need to have a set fuzziness of 2. So the fuzziness is like, how many changes would you need to do before the string was correct? So in this case, we kind of need to flip the L and the S. So maybe it will work with 1, like a fuzziness of 1. Let's see. Yeah, so it works with a fuzziness of 1. Like, let's see if it actually does. We need to, because it's only like 1 flip. But let's say we had like another missing like error. We would need to do a fuzziness of probably 2 then to be able to get some Oslo results. But it's hitting other interesting things instead. So a fuzziness of like 1 or 2, I think, is pretty good for our use case to start with. But that's like fuzziness. And I just... as I said, as a dyslexic, like all search should be like this, because I don't know how many times I write also instead of Oslo, right? And you can also see we get a little bit of a relevance score here. I don't know if we're getting those in through the SDK queries we are doing, but we'll see what is surfacing for us. Because as I said, still closed beta, so not everything is available in the SDK yet. So if we head on over to the, and then you can do a little bit of a get code snippet here, and we can copy paste the code here. So you can see fuzziness 2 and a prefix phrase. I think it's gonna, then it will match like parts of a phrase and not just a word, I think. I haven't looked that up. Yeah. Let's see, prefix. Yeah, Shopify from Spotify. Or what I do when I'm like really into it, I'm gonna like, I'm done for the night or the day, and I'm gonna have some fun with Netflix.
Yeah.
And there I am logged into Netlify,
Yeah.
not the same thing.
Yeah, that's right. They should have some cross promotion or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So it says here that phrase, it will actually like match parts of words, but if you put it to like, if you disable this, then it will match only words. So we'll do phrase because we want a pretty lenient search, at least for our first kind of go at this. So like copy paste the snippet here, and then you could head into the playground. And in the playground, I made a little bit of a some specifications. Like I want to be able to search inside of the column name, the column username, the meta location, and the meta description. There's no need for us to tell Xata. I keep saying Xata. Let's keep it Xata. There's no point for them to search inside of all of our like calculated values, because we're doing a text search, and I just, it doesn't need to match any of those. So I like to be specific about what we want to hit. So name, username, meta location, and meta description. And as we can see here, fussiness is 1 again, and we can see here location Oslo. And if we do the also again, we should still, if we run the code, we should still get some of these Oslo matches, hopefully. Yes, we still have location Oslo. So that's pretty cool. And I kind of copy pasted that in as a start. So we have inactive, overactive, and then let's add a parameter that's called search, and we'll just do search. But I think maybe we'll do search term, but let's just start with search. And I took everything I have here that I've tested. It works. I added it here, but I didn't fix the fussiness. So let's do fussiness of 1, maybe 2. Let's start with 1. And then we just return all of the results from
What's
this
the
endpoint.
problem with 2?
The thing is, like, sometimes when you're too lenient, it's really hard for people to understand what they're actually what it actually matches. Okay. Like, we'll see how Xata actually does this, because I've used Algolia before. Algolia. And then also for Queen Raae now, we have search, which is a open source search. So if we do node, I need to fix this because that didn't work. If we do, let's do noed, like it will still match, and it shows us with this highlighter what it's actually matching on. And that's information I'm getting back from the search engine. So when we start digging into this, we'll see if Xata gives us kind of these matches, or if people kind of have to see what the match is themselves. And if they have to see what the match is themselves, then you need to like lower the fussiness, because otherwise the people are like, why is this matching? But if you have this little way of showcasing what it's matching on, then the user won't be as confused, right? So Ula and I actually, we used Algolia for a project, a book searching project, and for dyslexics and others who have a hard time reading. And they were just using the built-in search engine of WordPress, which didn't have any fussiness, which is really bad when like the people using the tool are all dyslexic. Then it's very frustrating from them to be searching for books that are good for them, but not getting any matches because they're not searching for the correct word. So how many years was that? Was like when Lillian was a baby, like 8 years ago, we used Algolia for that project. But it seems like, funny story, we'll get into the code, I promise. But I think why Xata has this really good search thing, or is doing the search, is that the founders are coming from Elasticsearch. So the founders actually know a friend of mine from university, because he also used to work for Elasticsearch. So tiny tech world, tiny tech world. Anyway, let's get to it. So this is when I'm getting into uncharted territory, because like we have a kind of a search function here, but let's use it. And I already have this like use following hook that is using React query under the hook. So I'll add the, I'll give the search in there. And then this was a hack. Like I just wanted placeholders. So I just gave it a lot of empty. So if we refresh, like all of these are these like empty records here. I'm going to refactor that at some point. So it should take some sort of a search. Let's just keep it on. I'll probably make it an object with like search term and then search columns, but let's just start with it being in the actual search word or the term. And then we need to give it the key. So if the search is sort, so I'm overloading here a little bit, like I'll refactor, because now if we're giving it a sort, it will sort. If we're giving it a search, it will search. So we need to give it a key so that use query knows what it that gives every query a key that is unique. So if we search Oslo, it will know that these are the results for Oslo. If we search Bergen, which is another town in Norway, then these are the results for Bergen. And then we'll give it search. And then we need some UI, I guess. And I thought about just overloading the app page, but let's just make a search page so we keep these totally different. And then we'll have to figure out how the UI for the whole app is going to be with all these different functionalities, but we'll fix that later. Can you guys mute yourself while you're
I did it finally.
You did it. Great. So let's create some kind of search component here then. And let's just skip the hero for this page.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I should just make the search component first. Search. Before I had this like handy little, oh, there we go. I still have it. Skip the prop types. And I know if Tejas is still watching, he's going to cry because we're not using TypeScript, but we're trying to make it quite accessible here on the stream. So we haven't gotten into TypeScript land yet.
We have nothing against TypeScript. We just don't use it. You use it sometimes.
Oh, I used it years ago when I did an Angular project where you kind of just, had to.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's have
I remember Angular. Oh, look at this. Tejas is here.
He's still here?
Yeah, he's here. He loves it.
So let's head on over to the search page then and see if if everything isn't failing already, which, things like that can happen. Okay, we have search over here. Yay! Let's see what kind of styling we had on this section before. I guess we didn't have much. Yeah, let's give it a section. Let's make it a section. We got to be really good with our semantic HTML, especially after my semantic article. Like really, really hit it big. This little email about using this little semantic trick for HTML, it has like 4,000 views or something now, which is way more than anything else on my page. I'm like, should I just retire and make a course called Semantic HTML for React developers? Or like, is this the peak of my existence? I don't know. Let's head on back to search. And this is where I need my Tailwind people, because how do I make this? Is it container? Just to like make it come to the center. I guess I have it in my hero. Like these things are not in my fingers yet. Here we go. We can do text center maybe. Or account tabs. Did we do anything interesting here? No. I cannot leave this be. This is the bad part. I just can't leave it like that.
That's fine. Just fix
Wind, CSS. Where's our docs at? Content. Spacing. Isn't it? Yeah, there is a container. Container. MX auto. Okay. Didn't I do that? Okay, look. Let's see how it goes. Where are we? Oh, something happened, didn't it? And then we want, how do we make it smaller? Is it container, like container? A command of fixing an element's width to the current breakpoint.
We
So
have
it's at the breakpoint.
We have a tip here from Inesa. Container puts a page width. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but I think if we removed it, like it's actually, it is doing something because it jumped in a little bit. It's like
Text
here
SM.
instead. So yeah, that's for text. That's text small. So what is our? Here we go. Max width.
Yeah, keep coming with stuff in this. I love it. Yes.
Okay, let's see what happens now.
Width.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Cool. Let's put it there. That's all we need. And then we'll add some stuff on this one. Class name, text, medium. Okay. Something like that. Okay. So what we need now is this. We need some sort of a input field, and we could use the input search. And it says that the type of search are text fields designed for the user to enter search queries. These are functionally identical to text inputs, but may be styled differently by the user agent. I also feel when we are using the correct semantic HTML and giving it a type of search, I am pretty sure that assistive technologies will also kind of get a hint that this is a search input field and not just a regular input field. So we can do the input field here. Let's make it even bigger.
Assistive technologies, what's that? Is this a search thing? No.
Yeah, so like, you know, if you're using the let's say you're using it with and you're low vision or blind, then you have this thing that reads out the page for you, and it will kind of use these little hints and stuff to help you navigate the page. So now we have a search box. Yes. I'm gonna just like remove this because it ain't working. Okay. And we have a search box, and then we want to do something on change. We want to handle the change so that we can then tell our use following hook that something has changed and it should search again.
Yeah.
So, oh boy, it's been a long time since I've done everything from scratch. This is going to be interesting. Search term. Set search term. Search term equals use state. Oh, and then I forget that I have these like little nice helpers.
Yeah.
Term, and then our initial state is empty. And I'm guessing it's value, if I remember correctly, and it's term. So let's just do a little bit of a test. If we have test here, use state is not defined. So this morning, I was testing out some new stuff from the Xata team, and I was like, "Oh, it's not working!" And and the thing that had messed it up was that I had imported the wrong function from in my own code. So I was like, "I'm so sorry. This wasn't me. This is not you."
Yeah.
Okay, let's see now. And there we have tests inside of the input field. So we're going to empty that out. And then I am guessing it's event, target value. Let's see if I remember these things. Yeah, it's working.
Oh, yeah.
So now we can ask for our following, which is equals use following. It's importing correctly. And then we don't want to search. We don't want to sort. We want to search, and we're going to set it to the term. We are doing. Oh. And
there you go.
So I'm guessing let's make this
Ines has a question now. I'll wait till it shows up here so I can put it on screen. You just keep going.
Oh yeah.
Don't answer it. We must read it first. Hey, okay, are you ready? I'll read it. Where is the search field getting the styling from?
I think I've set it up so that Tailwind will add its basic styles to all of the things. So if we head on into the Tailwind config, theme, I think it's actually like, yeah, here. No, it's a plugin. See, I didn't even remember. It's a plugin.
Ooh.
I've added the form plugin. So it kind of styles, it gives a kind of a basic styles to all form elements.
Groovy.
So that's kind of cool. I don't know why I've done this theming. I mean, it's been 4 weeks or something. I don't even like it's been 4 weeks. I don't remember what I did. Yeah, it's coming from this form plugin. So that's cool. Okay, so following it now, I have something called an account tab or account card that I want to use. And then I will destructure the account onto there so that we can display.
Yes. Inessa says, ooh, nice about the plugin.
I'm
assuming.
And then let's copy paste this one. Oh, do I have a container component? Did I create a container component?
I saw
I did create a container component. So let's use that then. Well, let's do all of this a container component then. Oh. Container. But then we also need to copy paste this styling because then I don't have to do that. Yeah, so I've done a list here that I'm saying is a grid, and then I'm using my following, and then each card gets wrapped in a list item.
Okay.
Map is not a function. Why is it not a function? That is weird, though. Following or map. Oh, so the whatever we're getting back from following is not a list then. So let's see what's happening now, because now we're like hooking all of this up. So let's see if it's working at all. Following, because I'm imagining we're getting some kind of error or something. We'll head on over to the console and see, you know, my lazy my lazy debugging where I just write things out. So following. Oh, we're forgetting to wait somewhere, I'm guessing.
Oh. Bomb, bomb, bomb.
Or is it? No, it's data. So to in use following, what we are returning is the React query, or that I guess it's called 10 query now, 10 stack React query. And it has a signature that looks like data, error, blah, 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 blah. And I was just trying to use that directly. If we look at our account tab, we'll see that we need to actually destructure data and then rename it following if we're, you know, if you want to grab what we want to grab. So I'll go back to our search and we'll do a destructuring here, data, and then we'll rename it following.
Yep.
And this is because, but then we can also do like is loading, so we can do different states if things are loading, if things are stale, if there's an error, and all of those nice things that we are getting from React query. So I'm guessing that is the problem. So looks like we are, you know, we're at least. Oh, look at that! We're getting everyone now.
What's up?
So we're getting at least the first page of results, I'm guessing. So this is without any input. It's just giving us the first page of results, I believe. If we go back to the playground, we'll see what happens. So if we give it an empty string, and this is quite common with search. I always feel it's a little weird, though, that like when you're searching for nothing, maybe it should just like give us nothing. But often with search engines, like if you give them nothing, they just match all of it. So we then we could probably do it inside of use following, because I've set that it's enabled. It's only enabled if there is a user ID, but I can say also that and it will only be, it should only be enabled if there's a search key. No, if there's a search term or a sort key. So if there's a sort or a search. So if there's a user and there's a sort or a search key, then it should do our searching. Inspected, enabled to be a Boolean. So we'll need to do a Boolean on this. Imagine use query. Oh, it's still giving us. Oh, it's probably because it remembers it from earlier. Enabled. Let's head on over to our little React query here. So following, inactive, and nothing. Why is it enabled?
I like that you get Alex Reed up as the first hit.
Yeah, because he has no followers and no following, and he joined 8 years ago.
He has 2 followers.
And I think it's you and me, isn't it?
I'm following him at least.
Yeah, I am as well. So
he joined 8 years ago. Huh.
Look at that. Look at who's following him.
That's us.
Yeah.
So met him at the React conference.
Am I logic wrong now? Because if there's a search, a sort, or there's a search, then it should be enabled. And but there, because I didn't give it a. I didn't. Well, let's just keep on going for this one. So, but if I do Oslo now, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Look, Alex is on top again.
Okay, so something is obviously wrong here because he is not in Oslo.
Oh, you're sure about that?
Alex, are you in Oslo? And also we got like 1 million gets here, but let's do some nice logging inside of our search function here. So
you should follow him. You should follow him in this. Check out his feed. We tried to get him to tweet. I don't think he's tweeted anything.
I did get him to do a midnight, or was it 2 o'clock at night swim when we were at the React Norway conference, but we did not get him to become active on Twitter. So we failed and we succeeded.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's, classic debugging here. Let's see if we're actually inside of this search. And then let's try again. So we are just getting all followings. And then if we try to do Oslo, it does not look like we're inside of search. Let's see what we have here. Console log search. Oh, maybe I'm not using it correctly. So let's do search and then do sort and search. Look at our code when we can just, so we have a search there, we're giving it there, and we're giving it as a param. So why are we not seeing it in our logs then? Okay, so we do get OSL, so yay. So we do have something in search. But we're getting inactive, even though we are not giving use following inactive. So I'm guessing. Oh, look at that. I'm setting it. Yeah. I'm giving it a default. This is what happens when you just overload your functions. Don't worry. I will do some refactoring to this. So look at that.
It's working now?
Yeah, so we're doing Oslo. And at least we're getting we're getting a search inside of our API. So this is a serverless function, Gatsby function that we're deploying together with our project. So we're getting search.
Oslo is undefined.
Well, it was the sort that was undefined. This variable was undefined. And we wanted that to be undefined. So
good.
Let's try again. So now we're getting search Oslo. And we're sending it in there, but we are getting nothing back.
Well,
it's giving us back 50 records, it looks like. No, it's giving us back 0 records.
Yeah.
But if
maybe you don't have anything with Oslo.
Well, if we copy paste let's copy paste our search into the playground.
Yeah.
And then see if we get anything. So if we do Oslo. Now everything is slow because of my computer. Oslo. And then we need to do the follower ID. So what's my follower ID? Which is get following. We're getting the follower ID in here. So let's see what my follower ID is. What's cool with the React query, I kept like refreshing, but I really don't have to, because whenever the window is refocused again, it will run another search or another, it will refetch the query. So this is my following number. We'll add that there. And then we'll see if we're getting any results. If we're getting results, here in our playground, we should be, yes, we're getting results here in our playground, which means we should be getting results in the SDK. But we might be hitting one of those, problems that I was talking about with being in a closed beta. Not everything in the SDK will work. So let's try to match something on name or username maybe instead. Like maybe there's, some issues here with our dot, like meta dot location or something that. No, well, this is the same SDK though. So it should work. But let's try to hit something that's within like the name just to make sure. So what's a follower that I have? Ula is a follower, but I don't know. Well, we had Alex at least. No, so we're still getting
he's not
nothing.
a follower. He's not a follower.
No, a follower. It's somebody I follow. I mean,
okay.
follows. A following.
Follows.
Getting super confused by this. Okay, so we are, at least we know this is happening. Let's do a const results here instead of just sending it back, and then do a console log on the results before we send it back to make sure if we have our results there. And, and then we'll return the results. Maybe because it's this is the search endpoint. Maybe it's returning the, like the result is structured differently than when we are, because up here, when we are doing our inactive, overactive, we are asking it to just go through all accounts, and then we get the account records that are matching this filter and sort back. But when we're doing search, maybe we're getting some extra metadata back that, we need to maybe the shape of the results are different than what we are expecting. Yes. So this is the thing. It's giving us back the results differently, because you can see it's results and then it's table accounts. And then, so we're getting an object with table accounts and then record object. Because we could actually here be searching in multiple tables. So I'm guessing when we are then searching and we want that search result back, Xata want to let us know what types of records we're getting back. If I had maybe in a different app, I would have different listings. Maybe, I had a separate listing for like properties and another, or one table for properties and another table for, clothes, like our Norwegian Finn, which is kind of like a Craigslist on steroids. Then you want to know, did this result come from the properties table or from the clothes table, I guess. So if we head on back then to our search, instead of destructuring or not destructuring the account, so the results we're getting back, so we know they're going to be accounts because I only have one table. So instead of account, this is actually like a result. And what we need to destructure is the result dot, and what was the record? Record. How's it looking now? Oh, we at least got some kind of an error message. Account is not defined. Oh, because we're doing account ID here. So then we need to do result, record, ID. Do you think we're going to get something now? Inspect. And let's do object. So we're still getting undefined. Okay, let's go over to use following. So I am actually asking it to select the result dot records. And what we are getting back then, I guess, is our just a result. So let's do some more overloading. So we're getting actually result then. Are we?
Something is red.
Okay, so now I have the following is actually 24. And it's an object. No, it's the ones that it's our placeholders, I guess. What is, where am I messing up? So what kind of data are we actually getting back? Console log data. This is a real debugging session.
Good.
Let's see if we can get the data we're getting back from following. Where's the data? Is this not happening? Search. Why? Who are really good at React Query here? Because why am I not getting this back?
Is there any way I can get it into graphical?
Oh, this is not in graphical at all because this is all client side.
So there's no way to get it in there?
No. Okay, so let's at least have a look at. So let's write Alex. Following. Oh, I think we're not logged in anymore.
Oh.
The session has expired.
Oh, no. Yeah, there was a warning there in your console log from next auth.
Okay. So let's go to search. Let's write something.
Alex.
Okay, so data. We're getting something back. We're getting no, so it is data. Oh, so it's right on data instead of data. So I'm asking it to actually grab. I'm asking use following to actually grab records instead of kind of the data. So if we just do result, then maybe that will work on our page. Yes. But then it won't work on the other page. And this is why you shouldn't overload your functions like that. So. Okay. Oh, yeah. And look, it works even though I wrote Alice.
Yes. Alice. Who that F is Alice?
Alice. Okay, so let's try Oslo again then. Oh. Well, that didn't work. Yes. It was working. Why isn't it working anymore?
Yeah.
Who? I guess it's because we're getting something back and we're getting something back and it's not a.
Oh! Yes,
Woo!
John.
Celebration.
Maybe I should read his tweet now.
Yes.
I understand what he was trying to say earlier. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
It's gonna be mind-blowing, okay?
Okay,
this is John's voice. I'm back. Arg. I do not know how to spell skull. That's what it says.
Ah.
It's backwards.
Oh, it's because here. Then
I was
it should
actually
just-
kind of watching. I had to stop because it was a bad movie, but I was watching the movie Iron Mask with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they were sending letters back and forth to each other where they had written. They used a mirror here, and they were watching the mirror and writing it mirrored. I don't know how to say it in English, but in Norwegian it's speilvendt.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
Yeah.
to read it, you had to read it in your mirror. So it's like super code.
So I am refactoring
yeah,
this into its own hook so that
yeah.
we are not
String dot
actually.
reverse. Yep, that's right. That's right.
We're not kidding.
That's right.
Bring. Maybe we should do some pirate, like do some. But my hair is not. I'm getting a haircut this weekend, by the way.
Yep, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so let's do search instead, and then I'm gonna create my own search hook because then I can be more specific in the way. So console log data, so it's going to be straight on data, and then we are not going to have any placeholder data for our search because that was messing it up. And we don't have to do a select because we just want exactly what we're giving back by our API. So because we're the only thing, so when we're doing inside of our use following, that's going to be paginated after a while. So, you know, we're getting back both a list of records, but we're also getting back some information about what kind of set of records we are at. But what I want React Query to give me are the results records.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing the select here. But for the search, I don't think we do pagination. I have to look into that some more, but we're actually just getting a list back. So we want to just, you know, give that list back so we don't have to go in and select something from the data that's been returned. So if we go here now, we can then do use search. This is like, I did not prep much for this stream. So this is my actual thought process and coding process you are seeing now.
I like it.
Oh, let's see if that works then, because now we're doing the use search instead, and sort is not defined. Well, it's not used. Okay, yeah. So we only want to do, if there's a search, then we'll do search. And then inside of our search, we are then getting back the result, and then the result should have a record on it. Or am I thinking wrongly again? Yes, so we have an undefined following, and then if we do Alice, oh, there it's working. Let's see if we can find. Oh, you're not there. I haven't imported everyone yet.
Oh, something showed up. Look.
Oh, yeah. Because what is happening now is that we are not debouncing this search. It's trying to kick off a search on every letter, and that's going to be fine for this stream. But what I will do when I do a refactor is that I will use a debounce function, and a debound function means that it doesn't kind of use the value until there's been a pause. So instead of for every character I'm hitting, it's setting off a new search or a new call to the backend or to my API. A debounce function, you can be like, oh, you need to like rest like 300 milliseconds or something before I send that off, or you send it with the first character and then you wait until there's some quiet period, so you're not getting some of this.
I think we have a question now. Yes, we do. Are you ready?
Great. Yes, I love it.
Is this fuzzy search expensive on page load? Can it be deferred using Gatsby script?
So all of this is server side. So all of the front end here is client side, but React Query is calling in a Gatsby function. So the Gatsby function is calling Xata. So all of the search engine stuff is happening on Xata servers. It might be expensive for them, but it's not expensive for us. So
So that's a no then.
Yes, but in this case, it's very different because here I am using an open source engine that is actually performing a lot of the stuff client side. And that's why I am not activating it until you hit the little magnifying glass here, because I don't want to be loading in all of the search indexes and all of that things that they need to do the fuzzy search. So it's only loaded when you hit the search or the search page. But yeah, I hope that answered the question. So now we can see like a little bit of a issue here, because I have told it to search inside of location, but we're not showing location. So let's, show location on our cards so that is actually showing.
Okay. Yes, he liked the answer. Oh, whoa! He says,
let's put it under the name.
Man.
Location. Are there more questions, or what are you saying? Oh,
he is saying perfect.
Maybe we could even just have it in the same. People, I don't think usually have that long locations. So just for now, we'll just pop it over here.
Yep.
So it's Oslo. But this is like when we're seeing, we're doing also, we are getting these hits, but like, what is it hitting? And it doesn't seem like to me that with this, so to recap also, John, like here we are creating our own use search hook that is using, which is using React query, and that is hitting our API endpoint following. And it's actually up here in our API folder, but I am calling a function that is underneath this domains API, get following. And this is the search we're doing. And it seems like the results that we are getting, as we can see, they're table accounts records. We're not getting the information about what it's actually hit, like where it's matching, but I can see that in their own search engine, they're highlighting the parts that are matching. So I'm going to get in touch with them to see like, how are they solving this? Like, where are they getting the information about what they are matching on? Because I would like to do something similar where, when you're matching on Oslo, we get a little highlight on Oslo. And if we're, doing the Alice again, what are we actually hitting?
You don't get the yellow thing. You want to have the yellow thing.
Yes, I do want to have the yellow thing. We can have a little more look at this back, what we're getting back. We're getting the records back. We're getting the full record back. But it doesn't look like we're getting that information. And I have a feeling that we can ask for it, that there is some way here to like ask for some extra metadata on what it's actually matching. But that's going to be beyond this stream because we're at the hour.
But do you really need it for this app though?
I mean, you never really need it, but it's in. But
you might need it. You might need it, but in this app, it's like.
It's not a must, like it's not really a must have, because if you are doing, like my search that I want to do, which is crypto, and then like,
it's crypto, Kevin.
He's a client, so I won't unfollow him, but or like hustle, if somebody has like hustle in their hustle, see now I've read hustle and I don't know if I've actually matched hustle. I want to see where in this text I am matching, like here, side hustle turn full-time gig. So I like that side hustle. I want, but if it's like hustle for life, I'm like unfollow.
Yeah, hustle culture, fighting hustle culture.
Yeah, and then you don't want to unfollow that person, right? So that's why it's interesting, even though you know exactly what you're searching on, and even if you actually know a lot about your data, like that highlighting is just key if you're gonna make something truly like useful for people. It's just really interesting that
But could you maybe code it?
The thing is, like, if we did fuzzy match 0, it would be really easy, because then I could just do search, like an internal kind of regex on this, like where am I matching hustle?
Yeah.
But here I can't just do a search or a simple regex, because I don't know like where their algorithm actually matched this thing.
Yeah.
I've tried that before. So I'm going to ask them how they're doing it on their page, because they are probably, using their own SDKs because they are in active development, and that's how you that's how you figure out what's wrong, by using your own thing. It's called dog fooding.
Yeah, dog fooding. Yeah.
Yes. Which I think comes from like this case of some people making dog food, making their people eat the dog food or something.
Yes. Okay, are you ready for it? Are you ready?
Yes.
Will you be eventually adding a sort of other filters UI?
If I understand it correctly, my kind of where I want to go and why we made this kind of on its separate page is that the kind of the vision I have is for there to be like above these cards, you can do a search, you can do different you can do a search and then say, oh, I only want to search a location, or I only want to search description, or I only want to search name, etc. But then also be able to do sliders where like, okay, I only want to see, Alice's with less than 500 followers, or I only want to see Alice's with more than 500 followers. So I want it to be like this, kind of like you do with a product search, where typical of, if you're going to an online store and you can be like, oh, I want the large in red and only if it's in stock. Like I want that kind of a UI, but I find it's easier to like test out separate parts of the little components to understand, especially now when we're using a new framework, like really understanding how the search works before I kind of added together with other things.
So that's a no.
No, it's a yes. Like, yes, it will come before we relaunch. We're going to be relaunching in the beginning of November. So it's coming pretty soon. I just have to, now I kind of know how all the parts work. That like, I usually make like a super simple UI to like play around with. And now that I know kind of how the parts work, that's when I need to like sit down and do another planning session and be like, okay, so how, like, what is my vision for the UI? I also really want to be able to then let you share your filter. So if you found like this amazing filter to like find these people you no longer want to follow, then you could like send that filter over to me, and then I could use the same filter that you created. That would be super cool. And another thing we want to do is that we want to protect, like we want to have like a protected button. So even though Alex here obviously is not tweeting and doesn't have any followers, I don't want to unfollow him ever, or at least not while I'm doing this. So we want to add a little bit of a protect button here so that he doesn't show up in every, filter that I'm making, because he like matches on so many filters. So that's like, and if you have any ideas, that the GitHub repository is completely open. People have already been submitting ideas. So if you head on over to the Prune Your Follows repository on Queen Raae, and in the discussions, you can make an issue too. But if you want to, you can do, you can comment here, like what would be some good additional filters. We've got some good replies there. If you have any other ideas, or if you want to contribute, like head on over here, and we're more than welcome to see some engagement, I guess.
John says, sounds cool. And I think that's about your answer, I guess.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So let's do a little bit of styling before we before we leave this off. Like we need this like this search button here. Anybody, like, what are our class names for good header? Heading, I mean, and should it be H1? It probably should be H1. I know John has some opinions on this, but let's is it text large? Not getting, oh, it's like display large. But also, since I'm now on the Tailwind bandwagon, I have bought Tailwind UI. So I'm going to obviously be looking at the components here for they have products. I think they have like some product elements all the way down e-commerce. So here's like a category filter. So I'm gonna take some inspiration from, from their filtering, like their e-commerce components. Could be a good one, like a little bit, 2 filters like this, like, nice. There's some good things here in the Tailwind UI.
Yeah.
I think that's like makes it.
Yeah.
But let's go back to our, maybe I should just look at this time for some headings. Page sections, hero sections. Ooh, data to enrich your online business. Let's have a look at this header here. We would also love to hear John's voice one day. That would be awesome.
Yes. Me too.
Where is this header? They do so.
John likes it. He thinks it's funny. Yes.
You should tell Ola is like super close. Like, it's so close.
No. They should have a meetup in Canada.
Oh, they should.
Dress up like pirates, but with purple velour tracksuits. Right?
You really want them. You really,
that's what he should do, Paul. He should start a line of tracksuits and he should team up with some real crazy dude like Kanye West or something. Hey, don't you think those would be good partners? Huh? Or maybe just, order them from somewhere. Dropship. I know what he could do.
What?
He could. I'll just read this first. Did tracksuits become the standard dress code for pirates? I'm a Viking. Purple is not allowed.
I mean, Vikings are allowed into our world, and pirates.
They're total pirates. Some of them, at least. But it's Paul's dream. How was it again? Paul
really wants a Gatsby. He wants a velour Gatsby.
Tracksuit.
Because
if he gets them made, he could just mail them around and people can wear them and, make videos and stuff. And then they can pass them on. We don't need many, just a couple. People can just wash them. Yeah.
That would be the conference swag to have. See, look at this. Oh, do you know what I want to make now?
No, I don't like this. Can't we stop?
No.
we can. We totally can stop. It's not true.
I am sorry. I'm just gonna. It's not gonna be long. I promise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll do this where it says search inside of there, and then you search there, so it's not. So let's do username.
Papa.
Okay, let's not. That's too much to copy paste. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop. I promise. I'll stop. Okay, I'm really happy with how this went. I felt like we really got somewhere.
Jag tar mig ned för det. Så tar vi knyter bägge samtidigt.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is great.
Alice.
Jag vet en måte att ta mig ned utan att
That's slow.
Okay, bra.
Det är en väldigt lätt.
Bergen. The only thing we can do is we can do the is loading.
Yeah.
And if it is loading, is loading.
Oh no! Listen to this. When we moved to our new home, somehow my Gatsby purple swag t-shirt I won went missing. Oh.
The theme one? The theme jam one?
Oh.
Ron, is it the theme jam one? Because those are precious. Okay. I am going.
Or was it the function thing? No? What was it? I have no recollection of this. this t-shirt.
Okay, feature search. It's going to be Well, you know what? I'm gonna make an own branch for it so people can see the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
actual-
The big G. The big G is the one I have behind me here. That
Oh,
one,
so you
right?
can actually get an you can buy a new one because
Yeah.
the because there were some theme jams ones and
Yep. Theme
okay.
jam.
Well,
Yeah, I
I'm really
remember
happy.
the
Should we
theme
do
jam.
a recap or
Yes,
but
absolutely.
also people there
man.
there is a debate going on in our household
Mhm.
and it's about what refrigerator are we gonna get. So the poll is open and Ula is losing. So the poll is
Oh.
open. Should we get the black one or the steel one? So we're getting a wood fireplace that is completely black that's going to go in our kitchen. So I kind of want to get the black to match that, and then when we redo the kitchen we can like make it all look good. But Ula wants the steel one because it might reflect some light coming in through the windows. I'm not sure if this will reflect light though, Ula. So
We need
head
light.
on over to the poll on Twitter and let us know what you think.
You have a poll on Twitter?
I have a poll on Twitter because I talked about it on Slow and Steady. So it was obviously the most important part of that whole episodes where we talk about, how you can what helps when you're feeling anxious and all kinds of things. But the most important part is what refrigerator are we getting? Because that's top of mind.
You know what? I think the pirate princess liked those biscuits, the pirate biscuits, because she ate 6 and now she's begging me for another one.
And by the way, the pirate princess also wants the black one. So.
Jeg sa at du likte kjeksen. We should quit and get her some real food, but Ines has an important message here. I had to give my hoodie away because I got a bigger size than what I wear. So my dad is rocking Gatsby swag.
Oh, we need a photo, Inessa. We need a photo of that. That is awesome. And it's funny because I asked Inessa to be here to like help us to style this input field, and then it turns out that I used the plugin. So I'm sorry you didn't get to help out as much as I was relying. I was relying on you to help me out, but it turned out that the input field was overly styled. Okay, so let's do the recap about how we solved this, and then we'll see you next week. We might have a guest on and do something completely different, but then in 2 weeks we will be doing Prune Your Follows and Xata again. And if the guest is an false, or if the guest thing is not happening next week, then we'll be doing some Prune Your Follows next week as well. And thank you, Inessa. So the Tinkerbell, Tasker Thinger. So what we added search to Prune Your Follows so that you can do different types of searches to figure out who you should and should not follow. So these people we realized we want to follow, but say they were like, yay, hustle, we could unfollow them. Or any type of search that you want. Like if you want to unfollow everybody that lives in Oslo, search for Oslo. And we did that by, so what, like the way we did it was by starting with the search playground, the search engine kind of playground here inside of Xata. And we tested out some different things, setting the fuzziness to 2, which makes it so that you can have 2 spelling errors or spelling mistakes in the term you're searching for, and you will still get matches. And then we used the get code snippet and we headed over to the playground where we played around with it to see if we were getting the results that we were expecting to get. Then we headed into our API, our Gatsby functions, and created or added to the get following so that if there's a search term, we are using the search part of the Xata client. And then inside of our client code, we're using the use search hook that is taking in the search query, and then it's calling out to our API following with that search term. And then we're logging, of course, no. And it's only enabled when there is a search term, so we don't get like a list of everyone when we haven't started searching yet. Then we added a search component with a title, a search input, and then our result. And at this point, I'm using these results in 2 places, so I might be refactoring that into its own, its own component. But we'll see how the UI ends up being, because we are still in the exploratory phase, and then you're kind of a little bit all over the place. And when the pieces fall into place, that's when we refactor. Oh yeah, Web3. Let's try that one. Oh, it's matching on web. Oh, like, see, this is when we need the fuzziness to go down. So that's, that's to John's question about should we give more power to the persons doing this. Like, we could have a fuzziness setting here as well, so that you yourself could set the fuzziness while searching.
Yeah.
So yeah, and thank you, and thanks Xata for sponsoring our work with Prune follows. It's kind of cool. It's a new thing for us.
Yeah,
and we're having fun with it.
Thank you for the questions, John. Very good questions.
Absolutely. Okay.
Are we going to say goodbye now?
I think we are.
I need to prep the princess. Okay, come in, Lila. Open eye.
Because I don't want to unfollow any of these. Let me do a quick. This is what you can do when you're coding. So let's do the fuzziness 0. And then let's look at that. Only 3 people.
No. Ja, det magneter.
So then I would have to look at them and see a little bit if I wanted to keep following them or not. Okay, I'm making you too large.
Yeah, I must just say one thing. I have a poll on Twitter.
Det kan fly, pappa. Se.
Yeah, they can fly. I have a poll on Twitter. That's what I heard too. Head on over to my poll on Twitter, and I was like, "What?" Poll again.
I have a poll on Twitter. Oh, look who's here! Tobias is here.
Yeah. I put him
nice
up.
to see you.
Yeah. He almost always puts his kids to bed while we're doing the stream, so maybe he's doing both now. Okay,
maybe
this
is why the Pirate Princess is a part of the show, because this is also right in her bedtime, but she gets to stay up late on Thursdays.
Jag ska spilla.
Ja, okay. 1, 2, 3. We did a Gatsby treasure hunt with Gatsby. Queen. No, du kan ikke bruke den, Lillian. Du må gjøre ordentlig. Queen Raae and our guest. There was no guest. Junior Devs. Lillian and Junior Devs, Lillian and Ola.
Bye, everyone.